Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome to Guitar Daily. It's Nick Granville coming to you from Wellington, New Zealand. Today I thought I'd just check in and kind of tell you where things are at and what my plans are for the next week with this channel, with Guitar Daily and stuff. So my plan for next week is I want to do kind of focus on pentatonic. I've done a week on the blues, so I thought, well, let's do a week on pentatonic scale and kind of what we can do with it and kind of getting beyond the standard stuff. You know, this sort of stuff? It's great. You know, I've talked about it before. People have made their whole career out of just doing that. And it's awesome. But at some point, you're going to want to do more. So I thought, let's do a week of it. And let's just kind of dive deep into that kind of stuff. And I'll share some ways that you can kind of develop it. Develop what you know. Take it further. Get new stuff into your playing. And yeah, so that might be a fun one to do. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. So you don't miss that. Yeah, all that kind of stuff really helps. And you won't miss it. So yeah, had a session yesterday that was fun for a children's thing, which was kind of interesting. I've done a few stuff with this guy. I've known him a long time. He's a good friend. And he came over and we just did it at my studio, and it was really fun. I like sessions like that where it's like the whole point is to be playful, right? He told me he had this idea of a snail going to be playing guitar in the video. So he was like, just go over the top. So I got the whammy bar and I was kind of like making all these quirky kind of noises and silliness, and he's giggling his ass off, and we had a lot of fun doing it. But so I recorded that on one track, and then I did some bass parts. Because usually put down bass as well. And then I played, what did I do with the other one? Oh, I played more like a jazz type guitar thing, because he had this sort of almost calypso Afro-Cuban sort of vibe about it, you know. And so I played the SCO guitar for like a couple of takes and some rhythm parts, and then I played the L4 to kind of show to get a more acoustic-y kind of vibe for a couple of solos, just to give them options. And I always like when I do sessions to just give people options, you know. If you give them one sound, they got one option, and say it's not working, that's all they're stuck with, right? But I thought, you know, here I'm just going to give him a heap of options, and just he can do what he wants with it. And then just chuck down a couple of bass lines on one thing, and again giving options. So I'll play one thing for one verse, one thing for another, and he can cut and paste and do what he wants to do. So yeah, so that was fun. Got Wellington Jazz Club coming up next weekend with Erna Ferry, which should be good. Looking forward to playing with Erna. It's been a minute actually, so yeah, it'll be good. But I was kind of thinking about guitar, and I was watching some stuff this morning on YouTube, as I usually do, and I watched this thing of Andy Fairweather-low. If you don't know who that is, he was the rhythm guitar player for Clapton for the longest time, but he played with everyone, you know. He's a bit of a legendary player in the UK, really. But yeah, most closely associated as rhythm guitar player for Eric Clapton. So if you've seen Eric Clapton Unplugged, you've seen Andy Fairweather-low. And he was discussing in this video about like why Andy Fairweather-low, like why did he get that gig for so long and keep it? And he was saying it's because not only can he play, right, you got to be able to do the job, but it's like it's his attitude that he doesn't like, he's low maintenance for people. And I thought, that's interesting. That's kind of a part of it, right? Like if I'm booking some musician, I don't care how good they are if they're a pain in the ass. I don't even want to go there. I'll book someone else. You know, I mean, I'll accommodate people to a point, you know what I mean? Like, if they need something and I can do that to make it happen, sure, that's fine. But if they're, you know, actually being a pain in the ass, then it's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of where he was going. He's saying he doesn't really go out and party, and he kind of just sticks to the gig and does his thing. So it was really fascinating to see that. I think that's one of the key things. If you want to play music, you want to do it. I want it to be your thing, like in terms of having a career at this, then the playing is only such a small portion of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, think about a gig where you're on the road, and you're on the road for say 10 days. You might be wherever. You got 10 days on the road, and you've got a 2-hour gig every night. All right, it's a lot of time you're spending together where you're not actually playing. So, you know, if someone's difficult, I can't even be bothered, you know what I mean? By the same token, I also won't put up with any crap from anyone when I'm on the road, like, you know what I mean? If people are being difficult towards me, I'm like, come on, man. Interesting, isn't it? You know, I'm away in the US in January, so we're going to the NAMM show. And then I'm going to go up to Alaska to go and see a friend. And I thought, I'm actually tempted to take this guitar. I'm probably going to take this guitar, actually. I was going to do some modifications to the telly so I could take the neck off and actually like carry it in a backpack and carry it on the plane. Mostly because we were going to Alaska. I was like checking it in the hold in the cold area. I was like, But then I thought, when I get to the other end, I'm going to need some kind of gig bag to put the telly in anyway. And maybe I might still do that. But part of me was like, why don't I just take this guitar and I'll take it in, I've got one of those gig bags, the SKB gig bags that are, they're like solid, but they're a gig bag. They're much more solid than a mono case. And I thought, I'll just check it in that. I don't care if this gets broken. I mean, I do, but I don't, if you know what I mean. It's like, I paid $200 for it. It's not going to be the end of the world. But let me know in the comments what you reckon I should do. Should I take the telly and take the neck off and actually do all that? Or should I just take this guitar and just check it in and be like, well, I'm sure it'll get there. Because the issue is not like, it's not, we're traveling with a guitar, it's not usually, the international flights are usually not the problem, it's the domestic ones, right? I've got to go from Wellington to Auckland first, because you fly out of Auckland almost always nowadays. And that's the flight they won't let me check in, like won't let me carry on, right? The Auckland to LA probably will be able to carry on, 90% chance. But then, by the time you've gone Wellington to Auckland, you'll have to check your guitar the whole way through, and therein lies the issue. And then the flight to Alaska, I'm not sure what size plane it's going to be. It could be very small, it could be big. So I kind of just thought, maybe I should just take this, and then who cares? And also, too, the risk of getting your guitar lost. And this thing sounds fine, I could make this work. Like, I can get a tone like a blues tone. And then if you go for something like this. There's a good funk sound. Can do a rock. So, whatever playing I'm going to do there, I could probably do on something like this. So maybe I should just take this. I don't know. I'm still tempted to have a go at the telly, though, with that. But then I was thinking, if I do modify the telly and have the neck threaded inserts put in and go with machine bolts, how am I going to carry it there? I'd need to get a backpack of some sort and then put the neck in some kind of tube and carry it on in 2 parts. And then, would it fit in my regular backpack? Probably not. So then I might have to buy a new backpack and you start going, well, it compounds. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'd be curious to know. So anyway, I just thought I'd check in. I thought I'd catch up with you all. I hope you enjoyed the Robin Ford video that came out yesterday, where I talked about Rugged Road, one of my favorite Robin Ford videos. One of my favorite Robin Ford tunes. I think he sounds so killer on that. So I just thought I'd check in and kind of do that, and let you know about the Beyond Pentatonic thing I'm going to do next week. So we'll be pushing it. We'll be going for some stuff, I've done some videos before on pentatonic substitution, so maybe we'll take that a bit further in one of the lessons. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.